Hey there, how you doing? This is Adam again, and I'm now loaded on my machine here, my desktop computer. I'm gonna quickly glaze over what I'm gonna talk about in this video. In this video, I'm gonna quickly show you various mod tools as well as software development kits and even a game engine that I have working that allow you to put your game concept or educational tool and how you can apply them. In my next video, I'll show you how you actually can use those tools and I'll walk through step by step using a tutorial what you can do. I'm going to talk about various organization programs that you can find on the internet and how you organize your thoughts. I'll discuss the difference between a concept document as well as a design document. So let's get started. Work backwards. One of the most important things when you're doing your game is your concept document. Your concept document allows you to quickly go over the gist of your game and put it all down in thought and quickly blurb it all out. It's kind of organized, but it's a little bit more freeform, and the structure is not too tense. You just have to get the gist of your game, how the game is going to be played, what it's going to use to control the characters within the game, and maybe some background story with some art. I added some art, give it a little fresh taste. So, the concept document is very important. When you go to pitch your game idea, you bring your concept document to the publishers because it's a short 5-10 page blurb that they can quickly flip through and get the gist of what your game idea is about. When you go to create your game, you create the design document. The design document is what your artists, your programmers, and yourself and your entire team use for the basis of what your game is about. This is my design document, and it's about 300 pages. Read through. Every minor aspect of your game is covered in here. Before I go any further, I know this video is multifaceted, multi-part. I also talk about what free tools on the internet can be used, and one of the most powerful tools that I use is the Google Documents function. Google provides through Google the ability to create files similar to what you find on in Word. You can create PowerPoints and Excel spreadsheets, and it's all done and hosted on the Google servers. The really cool thing about this is the ability to collaborate your work with other people, which allows you quickly to go through, modify, and share these thoughts so they can log in at any time. They can go, they can edit, and it'll show who edited what, of course, so no one's going in and changing all your stuff. So we'll scroll through real quickly. And as a designer, the most important part of what you do is documentation of all your ideas. You can either write your documentation as I've done here, or you can go through and you can draw your art. Excuse me. Uh, Drawing your art allows you to show. I need to find it here. Drawing your art allows you to show other people your ideas in case you have problems expressing your thoughts in Word format. So here we go. I'm going to load this one up. This is actually done in Paint, what the graphical UI, what the player would see when they're playing their game. It just covers everything really quickly. So all this is very important when you're designing a game. Another free product that I found, which was really cool, is Dot Project. Dot Project is a project manager's dream. It allows you to organize all of your game stuff, which are actually called assets. Assets are everything from your model sheets to the programming code to the concept art to reference material used outside to sound files and music. Organize all your assets in one place. You can assign timetables for when things need to be done, how long it takes them to get them done. You can set up outside other, if you're working with multiple groups, you can set up links to those other groups, and you can even grant rights on a step-by-step who needs to go through and do what. It's a really cool little system. As I said before, I manage a small team of 15 people, so there's lots of various things that can go through, they can set up, and all access. So I've covered, the Rightly, Google Documents, the organization part. Let's get to the fun part, the scripting and the game design part. So I'll begin first on the left side of the spectrum with the game engine. This is Torque. Torque is a well-recognized game engine that allows you to build a game from scratch. I almost said modify. A game engine is basically something that takes all your code and all of the games run off of it. Difference between game engine and a software development kit or a mod is you take an existing game and you modify it to fit within that game world. These are the various engines that Torque provides. There's the Torque 3D engine. There's the Torque 2D engine. They now have an iPhone app, which is really cool. iPhones seem to be picking up a little bit speed. And they provide both a demo version as well as commercial. These are all commercial games, as you can see here, as well as something for us indie developers such as myself. For about $100, I get a engine license. Torque is also really cool. They give you the entire script, their entire source code. Their only caveat or requirement is that you mention them in the credits for the game, which, I mean, come on, that's easy to do. So, load it up here. Let me start a new one real quick so you can see how it starts. And execute. I know. Okay. Sorry, let's close this out. Let's start from scratch. Torque allows you to quickly, using the graphic interface provided, load and create a game from scratch and get everything up and running. It takes, I'd say, a little bit of time to learn how to use, but it's really cool. Everything is done in layers. Everything is done in layers, and you just build upon those layers. So you drag and drop your assets, which is everything, I talked about everything that's used in your game, on top of each other, and each layer is one layer that sits above another layer. So we got a little fish here. I'm not actually gonna do too much. I'm just gonna glaze over it real quickly. Just show you how you can drag and drop assets, which is one of the coolest things ever. And then once you've gone through, you can edit values of each asset or object. When they're put into the game engine, they're objects. Um, you can assign specific behaviors to them, how they're going to interact, what they can collide with, whether they can go through the actual scenery, because as I said before, everything sits on its own layer in the Torque engine, and world limits what values and everything they respond to. But I cover that in my next video, so real quick, we'll go through, we give it a name, fish test.